Hi children, you are welcome to lesson number 6, Flamingo lesson. Name of the chapter is Angelifus Tigers. Before starting the lesson, it is better to know something about the poet. So Adrienne Rich was a versatile gymnast and she was a poet, a critic, a political activist, and also she was the champion of the women, particularly the feminist. Adrienne Rich was born in the year 1929 in Baltimore, Maryland, in the USA. She is widely known for her involvement in the contemporary women's movement as a poet and theorist. So she is particularly famous for what? For her role in telling about or voicing against the oppressed women in the society. She has published 19 volumes of poetry, 3 collections of essay and other writing. A strong resistance to racism and militarism echoes through her work. So this is the theme. This is the general theme that is expressed in all the works. In all the works, there is the resonance or the echoes. What sort of echo is found? The resistance or the opposition against the racism, and also there is the opposition against the oppression or the subjugation on human being, particularly the women. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraint of married life. So this is the keynote, my dear children. This is the keynote. This is the keynote, or this is the key sentence of the particular line Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. In this lesson, we'll come to understand about the particular abstraction, the barrier, the limitation in the life of the women. So if I ask you the question, what are the limitations in the life of the women? So one, and the dominant one will be the lack of freedom. The lack of freedom. So many times there is no economic parity. Economic equality is not shown in the case of the women. Many of the vital issues of the home also, or domestic issues also, the women are deprived because they are not taken as being the shareholder. Therefore, all this will come to understand from this lesson on Jennifer's Tiger, which is a very symbolic poem. Which is a very symbolic poem. Means it is a very representative poem. This poem tells more than what eyes meet, what we can see on the surface level. It tells us something more. It tells us something beyond what our eyes can see or understand. Therefore, let us go to the poem. First, we will see the text of the poem. Where we move. Let us see this part before you read part. In the before you read part, this is the warm up activities. Warm up activities. What does the title suggest? Title of the poem suggested to you. Are you reminded of the other poems on tigers? Yes, certainly. When you read this poem, Aunt Jennifer's Tiger, so you have read many poems in class 10 or before class 10 also. You have read many poems on tigers. Tigers actually are the symbol of energy, symbol of freedom, symbol of exuberance. So this tiger here, when we read this poem, so we remember, we recollect the poem we have already studied in class 10 or in earlier classes. Then let me read out the poem. This poem consists of 3 stanzas. All the 3 stanzas are uniform in strength. The first stanza carries 3 lines. 3 multi. So this first stanza continues or consists of 4 lines. 4 multiplied by 3 is equal to 12 total. In total there are 12 lines only. So here we go for the model reading of the poem. Let's start. Unjarifa's tigers prance across a stream, right top as denizen of a world of green. They do not fear the man beneath the tree. They pass in sleep, chivalric certainty. Anjalifa's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits happily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with the ordeal she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So this is the text of the poem. I suppose just after understanding the sound, you have got to know about the meaning of the poem. At least some understanding you have about what will be the content of the poem. Therefore, let us go for the explanation of it. Before starting the explanation, so it is a better many a time what we do, we start with the questions, and if we have the question in our mind, at least we have some base in understanding the poem. So let us see at least one question from the text, the textual question. Question number 1: how do denizens and chivalry add to our understanding of the tiger's attitude? Now see, my dear children, so we are talking about the attitude of the tiger. We'll be talking about the tiger first, then we'll be talking about the attitude of the tiger. So this word chivalric and this denizen, how these two words help in understanding of the attitude of the tiger, that we will see on the basis of our explanation. Therefore, let us go to the explanation, and prior to it, let us go for the introduction to the poem. Here we move. Let's continue. So, my dear children, we are coming to the part of the explanation or the analysis or the critical appreciation of the poem. So, this is the roadmap to our lesson. So, first I will be starting with the introduction to the poet. Introduction to the poet, and after that we'll be going to the introduction to the poem, and then we'll be going for the explanation. So this is the picture. This is the picture or the image, the portrait of Adrienne Rich, the world famous American poet, critic, and social activist. Unfortunately, she died on 27 April 2012. Therefore, let us continue. Here we go. Let us continue with the introduction to the poem. Anjalifa's Tiger is a 1951 poem by American poet Adrienne Rich. It appeared in her first published book of poems, A Change of World. Told from the perspective of an anonymous speaker, the poem describes a woman, Aunt Jennifer, who crafts vibrant tapestry panel depicting tigers to escape mentally at least her unhappy married life. Written at a time when the divorce was unacceptable, the poem criticizes the traditional institution of marriage, suggesting that it oppresses women. This poem was written at a particular time in the history when divorce was not acceptable in the society. Therefore, this poem written by Adrienne Rich criticized the traditional institution of the marriage and suggested to find some ways out of it. Therefore, let us continue. And the First Tiger is a poem about oppressed women who escape into the alternative world, embroidery and sing, despite having marriage to a terrifying man. So in this poem, there is the escapist attitude, or there is escapism. Escapism is there. So the poet goes to the other world. What is the world? The alternative world. What is the world? The escapist world. So this is the world of the art, the world of the tapestry, in which she indulges just to forget the oppressive or the harassed or the traumatic life of every day. It is a formal rhyming poem, an early example of Adrian Rich work. In the earlier works of Adrian Rich, we can see that the poems are rhyming, just like the poems during the time of William Shakespeare. Let us see in 3 verses that the reader is left in no doubt that Aunt Jennifer has suffered over the years and is looking for a positive way to express her artistic talent before it is too late. So her life was under lot of trauma. Her life was very much troublesome, and in order to avoid that troublesome life, she took the help of the earth, and she wanted to express her talent in the field, and through this alternative world she also wanted to free herself from the troublesome present life. The tiger she created will outlast her and become a symbol of freedom and independence. The poet, teacher, critic, political activist, and women's rights advocate Adrian Rich, who died in 2012, once said that poems are like dreams. In them you put what you do not know, you know. Writing of the poems, along with the artistic work, the work of the tapestry or the embroidery work, is also a kind of escapism, because Adrian Rich herself told about her writing of the poem, that writing of the poems are also like dream. When you are writing the poem, you are going to the world of the dream or the imagination or a fantastic world that you do not know, that you want to live. Could it be that Aunt Jennifer's tigers are likewise dream element? This is a rhetorical question, my dear children, and the answer may be yes. The role of women in society under the language used by men for social and political gain go hand in hand. The role of the women in the society is different. The language used by the men and the women is different, and in this way a huge barrier, huge social and political barrier is created. That is just like the Chinese wall that goes hand in hand in the practical field. For what? Adrian Rich, the personal becomes the political, and this short poem, whilst not overly political, hints at more radical works to come. Even though this poem is not politically in tune, it actually talks about her feminism, and that gives a hint of political tone too. Therefore, let us go for the explanation to the poem. We'll go for the line by line meaning, word by word meaning, and the meaning stanza wise. Let us go to the poem. Let us see the first stanza of the poem. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men. Beneath the tree, they pass in slick, chivalric certainty. So we'll be going word by word. So let us see in this first stanza, if I tell what will be the key idea then what is your answer? The answer certainly will be, so in the first stanza, the tapestry into the panel, the tapestry means the work of the embroidery. Into the panel is simply delineated or simply explained. So we'll be going to every detail of the word in order to understand. So first let us see Anjali's tiger. Anjali's tigers. These tigers, how many tigers are there? More than one. Where are the tigers are there? The tigers are painted. The tigers are embroidered into the curtain or into the cloth, and they looks They looks very much vibrant. They looks very much lively, and because of that they are prancing. Prance means spring forward. SPRING, spring forward. Spring forward means they are jumping forward. So while they are walking seems to be jumping, and this walking tells that they are enjoying the full freedom. And what is the area where they are walking to and fro? It is on the screen. It is on the cloth. It is under the curtain. It is written in the. It is painted on the tapestry on the panel. Therefore, my dear children, these tigers here are the symbol. Let me change the color. So here you see this tiger here is the symbol. In the poem, the poet used the symbol. What is the symbol? Symbol is again a figure of speech that stands for some other idea, that represents other idea, that actually tells us something else. So when we are talking about the tiger, we are not simply talking about the physical tiger. What we are talking? We are talking about the freedom. We are talking about the energy. We are talking about the exuberance. Exuberance means there is a full of life. There is no dullness. There is no monotony. There is no kind of boredom. Means on the opposite, there is freedom. There is exuberance. There is energy. There is strength. There is everything that is fit to be living. Therefore, these tigers here. What is the connection of this tiger with Aunt Jennifer? Aunt Jennifer had a very troublesome married life. She was subjugated. She was controlled. She was controlled. She was dominated. She was dominated into the marital life by the Uncle Jennifer. The name of the Uncle Jennifer was James Conrad. He was a university professor. Therefore, indirectly or more directly, it talks about what the harassment in the marital life, and as she was suffering, as she could not think about the separation, as she could not snap or break the relationship, what she did, she wanted to tolerate, wanted to bear with the same harassment, and then wanted to live in the other world, and in the world of the art, in the world of the tapestry, where there are the tigers. That means the tigers are the alter ego. It is called the alter ego, means the other self. What is that? It is the other self. Other self of whom? Aunt Jennifer. Beautiful. Means these tigers are symbolic. It is symbolic of the alter ego of Aunt Jennifer, which she in real life she could not enjoy, and therefore Therefore, the tigers are symbolic not only of the freedom or the energy, it is also the symbolic of what Aunt Jennifer could not do or wanted to do. Am I clear, my dear children? Okay. Then let us continue. Here we go. Bright topaz denizen of the world of the green. So what is the bright topaz denizen? Topaz is the precious stone. It is a precious stone. The color is light yellow in color or golden in color. Okay, golden in color. So it talks about the physical appearance of the tiger. So they are bright. They are not dull. They are not murky. They are not dark. They are bright. Means that they are enjoying the full freedom, and they are just like the precious stone, yellow in color, golden in color, and live where in the world of the green. World of the green is the forest. Means that they are the inhabitant, or they are the habitat of the forest. They are the habitats of the forest, and they are very precious. Means that they have their own value, because they are enjoying life to the full. They are enjoying their complete life. They do not fear the man beneath the tree. Let us see these lines, my dear children, very interesting lines. They do not. Who are they? What does they refer to? They refer to the tigers. They means that the tigers. What the tiger not fear? The tigers do not fear the men. Who are the men? This man may be the common man. This man may be the common man. Means the male-dominated society. It is the male-dominated society. It may be the male-dominated society. Dominated society. Or to be very specific, it may be the uncle. It may be the uncle. Now, the tigers here, which are the projection, which are the other self or the alter ego or the Aunt Jennifer, are not afraid of the men. But in real life, let us see the contrast. In real life, the real self of our Aunt Jennifer is very much timid, very much confused, lacking of confidence, and she is living life just like a timid, just like a docile, just like a woman full of fear. Have you got it, my dear children? Then let us continue. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So this word chivalry, chivalry, it is particularly related to the knights. Have you heard of the knights? Knights in the ancient time, their job was simply to protect the women in particularly in the street. So the knights will be on the back of the horse. They will be riding the horse continuously, and wherever the women will be there in danger, and they will be the people who will be saving the women. Therefore, let us see. We are talking about the tiger, and these tigers are just like the knight. As the knight are fearless, they are wearing the arms. They are wearing all the kind of the armors, riding to the back of the swift horse, and they are brave people just like the Indian army, and they do what? They save the women in danger. Therefore, so we understand here that the tigers, that is the other ego of Aunt Jennifer, are very much unafraid. they are enjoying full freedom, they are very heroic or brave, and they have the confidence. They have the confidence or the certainty. They are not confused. They are not confused. What to do, what not to do. They are very much confident. They are very much bold. They are very much not very timid or coward. They are full of energy. They are brimming with the life, and they enjoy their life to the full. Therefore, in this poem, in the first stanza of the poem, the poet uses a beautiful symbol, the symbol of the tiger. Tiger represents the other ego of the aunt, which she could not be. She was telling that my life and the life of the tiger that I have painted on the panel is totally different or contrasted. The tiger, whereas they are enjoying the life, and they are very much confident, they are very much certain, enjoying the full freedom while working, whereas the aunt's life is full of confusion, lacking in courage. There is a lot of barrier of language, barrier of work, and all sort of restriction at home and outside. Okay, then let us go to the next stanza of the poem. Here we go. Let's move. The second stanza of the poem. Now, my dear children, let us see in the second stanza. I read out the stanza earlier, and in this part, you will try to understand what will be the key idea, main idea, key note, or the key sentence. So, suppose it is written in the form of the prose, then what will be the main idea here? So, if you can write, or if you can make the paraphrase of it, then your understanding will be better. That is the first step in your appreciation of the poem. Here we go. Let's continue. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So, have you found some similarity of the sound? Certainly. Suppose this one is the B sound, this is also B. If it is the C, then it will also be C. Wool, pull, similar. Band, hand, similar. Therefore, in the second stanza, the rhyme scheme will be B, B, C, C. This is the rhyme scheme. In the similar manner, we can guess that in the first stanza, the rhyme scheme will be A, B, B. Therefore, let us continue now. If this sound is similar with this sound here, then it will be B, otherwise it will be C, C, D, D. Have you got it? If this sound in the first stanza, third line and fourth line, similar to this sound, then it will be B, B. Otherwise it will be, if it is different but similar here in the last terminal word, then it will be C, C. Okay. Here we go to the explanation now. Let us continue. So, what will be the key idea here? The key idea, or the main idea, central idea, or the gist of this stanza, the stanza will be what? So, this is the married life. The married life. Married life of whom? Married life of Aunt Jennifer. Aunt Jennifer. So, what is the kind of the married life that is portrayed or painted here? The married life that is painted here is very troublesome. Very troublesome. Aunt Jennifer's finger fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Let's see now. So, what does this particular line actually talks about? her hands are weak, or feeble, F-E-E-B-L-A, feeble. The hands of the Aunt Jennifer, the hands of the aunt is so feeble or the weak that it doesn't have any strength. It doesn't have the strength to manage or control the ivory needle too. Ivory needle too. So why she is using the ivory needle? She is using the needle made of the tusk of the tusk, tusk of the elephant. Ivory is the tusk. So this needle is made of the tusk of the elephant, and it is a very slight one. It is a very light one, and she find it very difficult because her hands tremble. Why did the hands tremble, my dear children? The hands tremble because it lacks what? Lacks the confidence. Lacks confidence. As it lacks the confidence, therefore it is trembling, it is a shivering, as it is the month of December or January, therefore it is a shivering like anything, because it is lacking in confidence. Why it is lacking? Because her married life or the conjugal life was very troublesome. Therefore, she did not have any kind of confidence. Therefore, this particular line, 2 lines of the second stanza talk about her feeble physique and also feeble mind. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band sit heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So what is this wedding band? Wedding band actually maybe the ring, R-I-N-G ring. The ring that was given during the time of the wedding. Why it is called heavy? Because it was made by the uncle. Because there is no peace in the married life, and because of that this ring was regarded or considered, the ring was assumed to be very heavy, even though in reality it was not so heavy. So indirectly what it tells, it talks about the married life, which is troublesome, or it is a very wearisome, it is a very troublesome or cumbersome, C-U-M-B-E-R-S-O-M, cumbersome means very heavy. So it is not the ring that is heavy. What is heavy? It is the married life. It is the married life that is heavy. That is not light. That is not entertaining. That is a very gloomy, very sad, very murky, very troublesome, very restricted. Therefore, the aunt is of the opinion that the marriage with the uncle has heavily wrought upon or worked upon her life, and she could not enjoy the life, and she regarded this life as a very troublesome one, and therefore she regarded the wedding band as being very massive. Massive means huge. Massive means huge. Gigantic. Therefore, my dear children, in the second stanza, we come to understand about the married life or the conjugal life of the Aunt Jennifer. Aunt Jennifer was lacking in confidence, and therefore, when she was working the embroidery work or the work of the tapestry, she was not enjoying the freedom. She was lacking in confidence, and therefore she found it very difficult to manage or handle the ivory needle, which is of a very light weight only. The reason behind is the merit proved to be a trouble for the aunt, and therefore she was lacking in confidence and freedom, and she was not enjoying life. Life for her was a travel untold. Then let us continue to the next and the last stage. Here we move. Let us continue. When the aunt is dead, her terrified hand will lie still ringed with ordeal she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So what is the idea that is expressed here? And what is the mode? What is the manner? What is the way this idea is expressed? So idea here is the mortality and immortality. Mortality. Who is mortal? Man is mortal. Who is immortal? Who is immortal? Art is immortal. It is art. Art is immortal. Art will outlive, outlive man. Art will outlive man, means art will continue to live after the death of man too. That is the particular idea that is given. Therefore, the aunt took the help of the art so that even if she dies, her work will continue. Her work will be there in the world. Therefore, the particular manner or the method that is used here, what is the method? It is again the contrast method. What is the kind of the contrast that is implied here? That is implied here. So that the kind of the contrast is that after the death of the aunt also, Aunt Jennifer, she will be lacking in confidence, or she will not be valiant. She will be very much terrified. She will be very much terrified. Means she will be lacking in confidence and freedom. But the tiger, which is the alter ego, which is the other self, which is painted by her on the tapestry or the panel, will continue to enjoy the freedom, and it will never suffer from any kind of boredom or any kind of monotony, any kind of dullness. Is it clear, my dear children? Let us continue once again. When the aunt is dead, her terrified hand will lie still ringed with her ordeals. So what is the meaning of this word ordeal? Ordeal means the trial. Trial. Trial means great examination, very tough examination. जो examination सीता के साथ हुए थे, बहुत बड़ा examination हुए थे, that is called the ordeal. So she was mastered by or controlled by what? The ordeals or the trials and the tribulations while she was alive. While she was alive, she was mastered by those ordeals, and after the death also, the impact or the influence of this terror or this dread or this fear or this apprehension will continue after her death also. The tiger into the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. But into the contrast, on the contrary, we can tell that the tiger that is painted by her on the panel, that is the embroidery work that is painted by her, will be enjoying the full freedom. It will be springing into the screen. It will be very proud. It will never be lethargic. It will be always unafraid, and it will be enjoying the full freedom. So my dear children, this is the end of the poem. So we'll see some 2-3 questions which are based on the extract, and after that we'll end the lesson. I suppose your understanding of the explanation of the lesson is perfect, and you can write any question and answer but it is better to discuss one or two questions based on the extract of the poem. Here we move. Let's proceed. So we'll be talking about a particular question based on the personification. Personification. So the question will be, what is the figure of speech that is used in the poem? What is the dominant figure of speech that is used in the poem that runs throughout the poem? So as we have come to understand, this there was the symbol. What is the symbol? The symbol was the symbol of the tiger. The symbol of the tiger was used in order to show the other self, and that in other what we call as personification. Personification. That means the personification is a figure of speech in which human attributes or the quality is given to the non-human things or non-living things. You will understand from the poem that the tiger was prancing, the tiger was moving, the tiger was enjoying the certainty. All this thing actually talks about the personification. Means that the tigers are personified through the poem when they are described as being proud, confident and unafraid of man. These qualities differentiate them from the fearful and timid Aunt Jennifer. Therefore, in order to show the contrast, this personification is used through the symbol of the tiger, and this personification actually wants to tell about the married life which is troublesome for the aunt, that is Aunt Jennifer. My dear children, this is the end of the lesson. We'll meet you in another lesson where we'll discuss about the MCQ. We'll also discuss the question and answer just before the final examination, that is CBSE final examination. Till then, have a very good day. Bye bye. See you tomorrow in the next video. Okay then. Thank you.